try that tonight and see how that goes.
How the fuck is it? Why is everyone building dice towers? My friend just built one too.
I can print one for you.
No, I have a giant tree that my dad
Oh,
made.
yeah, I bet you do.
that I used to negate my DM. That was a lot of fun.
You're gonna make me pull out real dice tonight?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah, we've been rolling real dice.
Yeah, people have
been rolling real dice
because they've got stuff for Christmas and stuff like that. And they want
also, like, I have all these gaming dice accessories. Okay, they are next to me, so if I have to roll a dice, I will roll a dice. But
all right, just do our standard intro. Welcome everyone to our Saturday night D&D session. We're having a bit of a abbreviated session tonight because we're going to be watching Acquisitions Incorporated live on Twitch after this. But I'm still, trying to get a little bit of playtime in here. Sort of tie up some things that we've done last session and move on to something new. As usual, or as always, we're following the exploits of Team Soteria, the Triboar branch of Acquisitions Incorporated. As far as a recap goes, I believe last session, the team got a letter from the Lord Protector of Triboar asking for their aid in apprehending a marketplace thief that the town guard was sort of ill-prepared to arrest themselves. And they followed some clues, got some sort of conflicting information, visited some of the locales and establishments of Triboar that were preyed upon by this thief, including their own establishment. But they eventually tracked the thief down to a forest just outside the cemetery of the city in the southern part. And there they found a changeling child. They're in their true form. They look to be around 6 or 7, and they have like very pale skin, but just pitch black orbs for eyes, and sort of androgynous features. And they introduced themselves as Ren. Of course, they did try to escape, but they were caught by Team Soteria. And I don't think you guys reported back to Lord Protector that you had apprehended the thief, but you sort of took Ren with you back to your tavern, Clinks and Drinks, and gave them food and shelter for the night. Ren has seemed to take to Mai a lot because it is very fluffy. I think that's... Oh no, yes. So what happened also, that was almost the end, but towards the end you guys discovered that Ren, Rashemi tried to do some parenting, some stern parenting.
Oh no.
And you guys did contact Vera as well, because it looked like Ren didn't know how to read, and he wanted to remedy that as soon as possible. And so she came over saying that she also had some sort of dealings. She needed to gather some materials in Waterdeep for these spell scrolls she's making, and so she'll stop and Triboar on the way there. And then the next morning, she came by. She had a letter that their mail carrier dropped off with her. I sort of met each other on the intersection, the crossroads to your establishment, and it was addressed.
Wait. I have a question.
Yes.
What is our mail carrier's?
What is what?
Our mail carrier's name.
Mail carrier's name is Emily Marlowe.
Yeah.
And I have that written down.
Wait. Did you tell her about the race to get the mail and how the hated it?
Oh yes. That was 2 sessions ago, but yeah, I can. I can.
You were there.
Oh, never mind then.
I think Eveline was there for that. But yeah, she had a letter that was addressed to Independence, and when he opened it, it said something along the lines of, but basically that the noble the Waterdavian noble family, the Emmerichs, request, and let me get his name here. I just closed this up for some reason. request the presence of one Aaron Emmerich at their estate at his earliest convenience for the reading of his father's will. And then in parentheses it says Aaron may also go by the name Independence or Indy. And I think that's where the session ended.
Mhm.
And that his name.
Okay, wait. Why do we have a child?
Because
So
it was a
we-
thief, and we saved them.
Them.
And we didn't.
Okay.
Yes.
So the child was stealing from shops so they could survive because
Okay, got
They're-
it. Like an urchin.
yeah they don't have
Big
mastery of
urchin
their
energy.
changeling abilities yet. So whenever they get really excited, or if they do something involuntary like sneeze or yawn or something like that, they'll change their shape involuntarily, and people will notice and get freaked out and chase them out of town.
And
So-
when we brought them.
So they've been sort of like lurking at edges of town, stealing stuff just so they can survive.
Here, dice.
So my problem is that you said Vera was here. Why is Vera getting
That's
our
good.
mail?
So basically, as it happened, she was walking to like on the sidewalk, sort of like the path to your establishment, and Emily was passing by as well. And so she recognized Vera and just handed her the mail and said, "Give this to Team Soteria," and left. So there was no maliciousness behind it, of course. She simply did that rather than put it in your mailbox.
I'm just saying, maybe the nail character needs to get fired.
You can bring it up with
No.
corporate.
Oh shit. Sorry for the dice noises. Sorry.
It's not that loud. Oh, yeah, that's
That
loud.
was. Sorry.
All right, and I think that's
It's
where
not that bad.
where we ended and where we're going to start.
Okay, we got 40 minutes. Let's do this.
Yeah, so you guys can take it away from here. It is the morning. Rashemi, you are still on the second floor, I believe.
No, jump out of the window.
So you can jump out of the window, but you'll take 1d6 damage. You'll just Scott Pilgrim right out. Do you open the window?
Because Rashemi failed at parroting?
Do you open the window beforehand, or you just straight up jump out? So he's typing. What are the rest of you doing while Rashemi is just mad dashing out?
So wait, we went to sleep, right?
Yes, this is the next morning.
Okay.
All right, give me an acrobatics check, just to see how, or just to see how, like if you land on your feet. Still do damage, but this is if you land on your feet, or make a scene that everyone can hear. Okay, that is enough. You still take 1d6 damage. Take 2 damage as you roll on out. But you land like in a superhero landing.
Worth it.
And so no one really hears that you have done this. You don't like face plant or anything like that, but you are now outside, clinks and drinks. I'm assuming you took your sword with you, or did you just leave it in your room? And okay. And I'm going to really try to pronounce them differently because they're both here in the same scene. Keep in mind, it's Vera. Is the one that is in Rashemi's sword, and Vera is your friend from Team Palace. Okay. What is everyone else doing?
So we don't know.
I'm planning for brunch. Go ahead, Nat.
We don't know the contents of Indy's letter yet, right?
I think the only ones that
Nope.
know are Indy and Caxier.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was down there.
Let's see.
Because you stole my mail.
I didn't steal your mail. Technically, Vera stole the mail and I took it from her because I am part of the team.
Oh, Nat
And
just
I
wants
did
these
take
2
it.
days to go
I
by
still have
so
my
they
haste,
can
so I didn't.
get their shield.
Okay.
Man, the rest of you are still asleep. You know, there's the clang, clang, clang outside of Lydia and Reverend's practicing, but they do that every morning, so it's kind of become background noise to you all. The
Can
rest
I
of
go
you are
out
just...
kind of just,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I just want to go out back to where they're practicing, just kind of chill out there, I guess.
Okay. So I'll get to that. The rest of you sort of just wake up, and you have sort of, Cax, before you go out and check on your mom and Lydia, you have gone up to sort of, I guess, do you just slide it under? How do you hand Independence this letter?
Oh, well, is there anyone else down here? Like anyone
Um,
else in the team?
I don't know. Who else would have like a priority to wake up like super early in the morning? Because this is like probably like 7 a.m.
Oh,
ish.
I'd be up
to go up to
with
him.
like light.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense for a clerical Lathander. So you would be here downstairs too, just getting some breakfast.
You gotta do the dawn prayers and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably like grumbling, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you would all have
Nat
seen
might-
that Caxier read this piece of mail and then just ran upstairs.
Oh,
I wouldn't. Oh, yeah, no, I probably would have. Never mind.
I don't know. Can I make an insights check to see if like what mood they're feeling? Like, do they just want to deliver the mail quickly, or are they actually like?
I'm not. I'm like
sense of
trying
urgency?
to seem like I'm not in a rush, but like I'm like doing
Oh,
my
like
best
that-
at the fast
Well,
pace.
then make a deception run.
Like that fast-paced like
A deception
walk
run.
slash hop.
Deception.
Deception.
like a little speed walk.
Yeah,
Let's
like
see.
the mom walk, the super fast mom speed walk.
Let me just see how my insight is. 13.
Do I get to do deception?
I mean, if you're trying to make it seem like you're not, then I guess.
And
Use-
let's see, Rashemi, if you're going to be, so you have landed perfectly and without making a scene, but if you want to move, you'll need to do a stealth check.
Do a sneak.
Sneaky boy.
So I've been playing a lot of Skyrim, and it's called Sneak in Skyrim, so I apologize.
I know, I kind of like do a sneak check. It works.
Yeah.
Aha, I
Oh,
think
no.
something is up.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a 12 is not good, and so
My passive is 18.
you think that the contents of this letter are more important, Nat, than Caxier is letting on.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna follow. I'm just like if I don't get told what's going on and within a reasonable amount of time, then I'm just gonna ask about it. So I'm not gonna follow him upstairs.
That's your
All right.
turn.
As far as those people downstairs, Vera will greet all of you, and you seem, Ron, I'm sorry, Rashemi, you seem so far to be undetected. The rest of you downstairs, Vera will greet all of you. By just saying, hello, and like, hello, Evelyn, and she'll give you like a hug as best she can from your seated position and you eating.
I mean, I said I was making brunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then, yeah, so you would be cooking in there. So you do have a cook, but if you want to make your own food, of course, he'll give you some counter space to do so.
I will allow it.
I mean, that you paid him to cook for you, so, I mean, but you're the boss, so he'll give you some counter space. So you're in the back, so she wouldn't see you at first. So is anyone else downstairs in, like, the common room?
I am.
Okay. And you have met Vera before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah, I think everyone has at this point, because that's the newest person in that system. Yeah, not her.
All right, so variable to you, Nat will say, hello, Nat. Is everyone else up yet?
I've only seen so I've seen Evelyn and Cax here. I don't think I've seen anybody else because I haven't seen Roshemi, and Indy hasn't come down from his room.
Just a bunch of broken glass out the window for some
Yeah,
reason.
Well, I'm just. You guys said
Oh.
there's a child, and she's like looking around now. Like there's a child that doesn't know how to read.
Oh yeah. Do I know what room they are in?
They went to sleep in Caxier's room.
Okay. Are they downstairs? Or are they still?
Yeah, I assumed I would have gone downstairs unless they were obviously still sleeping.
I don't know. I think they would still be. They've been through a lot, so they would probably still be sleeping. Their kids too. They sleep a lot. So
Okay.
you can.
Well then, I'll tell her that the child is still upstairs.
Oh, okay. And she is going to go upstairs, like making her way up there.
I'll shout up after in Caxier's room.
Thank you. And so, Evelyn, what are you making in the morning? I'll get to what Indy's doing next in Rashemi as well.
I don't know. Evelyn has not seen this child yet. Because that's what I've decided. And so like she's just making
No
I
idea
guess
the kid exists.
yeah, I think she wants to give the cook the day off. I don't know, like the morning off. I just decided I was talking about brunch out of game, and so I brought it into
I mean,
game.
if you're making brunch, then the breakfast rush, so to speak, has sort of already died out then. And so
Brunch can be whenever.
he's sort of taking a break, making his own food to eat now, before he starts to prep for lunch.
Cool.
I was just asking if you had like any particulars, like I'm
I have
making
no
eggs
particular.
Avocado toast.
and
We've gone
avocado
over how
toast.
Millennial.
Evelyn feels about eggs.
Orange juice is kind of out of
Eggs.
season.
But eggs look like the sun. You gotta love them.
Sunny side up eggs? I mean, come on. Come
Eggs
on.
are
It's
gross.
right there. It's
Eggs
right
are
there.
gross.
I
Eggs
was
are gross.
flipping through my sketchbook the other day and I found that again. And I wanted to send it to you guys so bad, but I didn't.
What egg?
Eggs are gross.
Can I offer you an egg trying time?
Yes. And then Evelyn just slapping it down. No.
No, I have it. I don't have my sketchbooks anymore.
All right.
There's a 9-hour print.
Andy, you hear a is it a frantic knocking, Caxia, at your door?
I mean, I probably just would have walked in. I would have picked the lock. I would have knocked once, and then if you didn't pick up, open it, I would have just picked the lock and walked in.
All right.
It's terrifying.
Give me a tools, these thieves tools check.
Okay, I'm using my special amethyst die for this. Okay.
I mean, because he is also a rogue, so I'm assuming he beefed up the lock on his room.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Man, so yes, it is like in the television shows where they just take a
Stick it
barely a
in there.
second. It's like in one fluid motion.
And then, is he sleeping? Are you sleeping? I don't know.
What time is it again? Is it like
It's around 7 a.m.
Oh,
Actually, no,
I'm
it'd be
past-
later because of brunch situation. So it's probably
I
around
was like, it's probably like
10ish.
10:30, 11.
Oh, I'm up.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Okay.
10:30, 11. Yeah, I'd definitely be up.
Okay. This letter came for you, and I just gave it to him. I'm gonna back up, but I'm gonna still stay in the room.
It has obviously been opened, Indy. You don't need a perception check to see that.
Yeah. Did you? Come on. Seriously,
wasn't-
did you really read this?
It
Like,
wasn't
you,
addressed. It wasn't addressed specifically to him.
It was addressed to
What?
it had a crest on it, and it said, I believe it said Independence on it.
Because you didn't say it was addressed to him specifically. If it was, I wouldn't.
Oh, I
know.
didn't. Okay, that's true. I think
No.
last session I just said it had a family crest on that you didn't recognize.
Yeah. And she wouldn't have associated that with someone being for specific someone if it wasn't directly addressed.
Okay. I assume like you're explaining that to me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fine. And then I open it. And you just sort of see my eyes get kind of wide.
Yeah, I want to like make an insight check if you're trying to like be sneaky about it. I guess I don't know.
And so,
I don't mean
I don't know.
if you can see like he has surprised facial features,
Okay.
but if he's
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide that. I am very obviously just completely shocked. Yeah. I mean, this can't be real, right? Like, this has got to be one of those, like, Schultz print scams, right?
Are you from Waterdeep?
I mean, no.
Is this your father? I don't
Not the
wrong.
person who raised me.
If it wasn't who raised you, then why would they be? Huh.
Yeah, this raises a bunch of questions. Like, I knew the people who raised me weren't necessarily my parents. I mean, look at me.
Did you think they were your biological parents? Did you think they were your what? You didn't know?
It wasn't something we typically talked about very often. It just sort of, I knew I was a little different. You know? I mean, you know how it is.
I definitely do.
I mean, I guess we just gotta go down and
Evelyn wanders out
actually
of the
look at
kitchen,
it.
yelling up to everybody, saying, "Brunch is ready."
Okay. Coming.
for those still upstairs, as you're coming down, you see Vera,
Oh, hey, Vera.
ascending. She says, "Oh, hello, Indy," and she gives you a hug as well. She says, "Caxtier, I'm told that the child I'm supposed to teach is in your room."
Yeah, I'll walk in. I'm assuming he would have kept an ID in the room if the kid was still sleeping there. I'm assuming he's in the room. I guess. So yeah, I'll just walk in and kind of like make sure she's quiet if the kid's still sleeping, and keep everything if she sees. And
How would she? So she's very enthusiastic about learning. Is the thing. So
Yes.
and it is like
Oh, no.
it is like 10 in the morning or 10:30ish. So that would be too late for her to like. So
if I see that she's about to like be really loud and try to wake him, I'll like try to put my hand over her mouth.
yes, she was about to use thaumaturgy. You see her breathing really deep. She goes.
I want to slap my hand over her mouth.
And she's like, and then you just hear in your head, Caxter, what are you doing?
They had a really, really eventful day yesterday. They're probably really, really stressed, probably a little scared. Just be
Just
careful
chill.
and calm. Just chill a little bit, and I'll wake up. I'll walk over and like shake them awake a little bit, but I don't want to like startle them. Anything.
Avi, be cool. And then you guys watch Taz, never mind.
So yeah, due to your
Well,
your
that's just
gentle
good.
shaking, Ren does awake, and very sleepy eyed. But then once they sort of notice that they are in, they're rubbing their eyes. If once they
A
begin to notice
bed.
they're in a bed in an unfamiliar space, they go into like panic mode, sort
I
of.
just pop my right in front of them, like right on their lap, so they're not like, because I'm assuming they're
Okay,
really
that does calm them down a bit, but they sort of have them. There's two obviously very large adults in front of between them and the exit, so they're sort of like crouched up in the corner, like pressed into the corner to get space between them and you. But then once they sort of, with Mai, and then once they begin to recognize you, Caxir, sort of blinking the sort of morning gunk out of their eyes, they begin to relax a little bit. And they'll say,
Okay.
Ren will say, "What's going on?"
This is Vera. She's one of our friends. She's going to teach you how to read. Um, Hopefully that'll help you maybe fit in a little bit better because you are a little bit behind.
And then Ren will say, "What's so great about reading anyway? Haven't needed until now, or up till
You
now."
can, you can learn.
Do you want to keep living in the woods and running away from everyone because you can't? You can't quite fit in? Or do
No.
you want to? Well, if you learn to read, you can make friends with some other kids your age in school, or I don't know if school exists, in school, or it'll help you be able to like read signs and stuff. So you can pay for food and things instead of stealing them, so people will like you a little bit more. Little things like that.
It's a very quiet, small voice. They say, "Okay, can Mai come with me?"
Yeah, I'll nod,
All right.
and then and then I'll say to Maya just to like make sure that they're actually paying attention and kind of keep them on track of and try to get him
Yeah.
to do that.
Well, she'll take him downstairs with you guys too. She
Okay.
introduces herself to Ren. She notices how standoffish he is, or I'm sorry, they are. So she won't hug them at this point in time. And so everyone now is back downstairs in the common room, sort of restaurant area, except Rashemi. Rashemi, what are you doing exactly? You jumped out. You're lurking around the back. But have you a destination in mind, or are you just trying to be unseen for right now? All right. So you do pass by. So your stealth check was only for the people sort of in the building. You do pass by Lydia and Reverence, who give you like a quizzical look as they just saw you jump out of a second story window and then slink off into the woods.
I feel like my mom would be used to that.
There's a brief pause.
Maybe.
You guys, inside, you'll notice there's a brief pause and the almost constant clang of metal on metal for about a good 3 seconds, and then it just sort of resumes.
Love it.
All right, so
Evelyn's
Rashemi's
very confused about this child thing
off to the
and wants
woods.
to know all the information, but she's going to.
This is a chance to ask it. You guys,
I thought Indy and Cax were still with the kid.
yeah, they're coming downstairs now. Everyone except for Shemi is in the restaurant / common first floor room of.
Oh, if I haven't
something.
seen Rashemi, I would have poked my head out the front door and yelled for Rashemi for brunch. But I wouldn't go looking.
Okay. Yeah, the kid, Ren, is obviously with food now present. That takes priority, and so they begin woofing it down I'm assuming the rest of you are, in maybe not in a similar situation as Ren, but also hungry. Do you
I
have
want ice cream.
ice cream?
No, I just want ice cream.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, you've made standard brunch affair. You're not a fan of eggs, so you didn't make any of those. But there's some sliced, cheeses here, loaves of bread.
There would have been eggs if they were especially requested.
Jams.
Nat wants eggs.
Then Nat would have eggs, but only for they would be separate.
Rashemi just eats eggs raw though.
That's fine.
God, no. Oh no.
Rashemi is Gaston. Come on.
And so
I do not approve.
Ren tries to use the fork and knife that have been prepared for them, but when they notice that Rashemi is not there
this whole time.
but when
I
they
was
notice
wondering why no one was laughing at my jokes. I've been muted.
when they notice that Rashemi is not there to
Dang it.
enforce order and discipline, they go back to shovel hand mode.
I take their bowl away or take their
Ugh.
plate away and look at them and say, "You were doing very well. Come on,
I-
a little bit of practice, please." And I'll wait until it.
Yeah, they obviously pout, but then pick up the knife and fork.
I thought all my jokes were just going really terribly.
No, what were you saying?
You need to invest a push to talk.
No, but I'll definitely forget push to talk. It's better to leave it on all the time and mute it selectively. It's just I turned off my phone and forgot I was muted. So, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I just needed to vent. I'm very dumb.
Well, you are now alive, so if you do,
Evelyn pats Indy on his head.
Yes,
Child.
I just have a blank stare on my face for about 10 or 15 minutes where I'm just
Dissociating.
you just stare at the wall.
I'm just T-posing. Just walking into a wall and then just jumping back 6 feet and just walking forward, just lagging out.
And then you hit a column, and then you're like a Roomba. You hit a column, and then you turn around and walk in a different direction.
Yeah, I'm like a very
This
bad
is
guard
like
AI.
that swears every time it bumps into something. Do that Roomba.
Okay. So I've been doing my idle animation.
Vera will say, "What's
God,
what's
I'm
wrong
so dumb.
what's wrong with Indy? He's normally not walking into things. He's normally a lot more
No,
lively."
this is completely normal.
No, I'm good now. So snap out of it. I'm like, okay.
Are you sure?
I'm just picturing Rashemi as have you guys seen the TikTok of
Oh god.
No.
the
The answer is
guy
no.
with the
answer is
pool
no.
the pool ball and then he misses
Some
the
of us
shot
are
and he
old
just
adult
goes
TikTok.
and just swallows the whole pool ball?
What the fuck? Oh yeah.
Did you know a TikTok is the
That's
sound a
something.
clock makes?
Wow, really?
I mean, yeah.
Rashemi, Vera is asking you why you just yeeted yourself out the room and are now creeping around in the forest around back. She's like, "Is something wrong? What's up with that? Who's that girl that's outside?"
He's creeping around in the woods.
Rashemi's in the
That's
woods.
Shut up, Alexa.
Out of the woods.
No.
Who's that girl that was knocking on the door?
Alexa, please play D&D with us, or be quiet.
Aha. No, I'm using
Alexa,
headphones
roll
right now.
1d20.
Alexa, roll 1d20.
I rolled one 20-sided die and got one for a total of 1.
Oh, critical fail! Oh, Alexa.
That tracks.
All right, Rashemi, what is your response to Vera? She's asking you, what's up? Why did you throw yourself out a window?
Oh, Vera found.
No, Vera.
Vera, shit, right.
The sword is talking to Rashemi.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
she says, okay, well, you haven't done this, you didn't do this last morning, so it's kind of weird. I don't remember this from our time in Reshemen, so well, she can read your mind, so not really.
God, the names and the swords versus the person Vera is confusing.
She just gives a knowing, like if she was a person, she'd be giving you the look, like the side
Idea.
eye.
There's an eye in the sword, like Ford.
All right, so you just go for a brisk, semi-morning run with full equipment and sword around Triboar, because that's how you do naturally. All right, everyone else is back in the first sort of room of the clinks and drinks. Aveline, this is the first time you've heard like that there's a child now on the premises, but it's your first time seeing it. It seems to have shovel hands or something.
No. Okay.
She would
I
have
hate
seen that
I
briefly,
hate
at
it.
least. You can't really hide shovel hands.
The shovel. Ren shovel hands the worst barber.
No, hold on. I need to clarify. Are they like making the shovel shape with their
No.
hands and
Like
like a
their
scoop where their
hands,
hands are made
their
of shovels?
hands
actual
literally look like shovels for a
I'm
bit.
pretty sure they're covered in scales.
Yeah.
That was when the food was really hot. They was to
Oh.
protect themselves from the heat, but this is
Gotcha.
more mild temperature stuff.
Just
This is what
So wait,
happens.
I have a question though.
This
How
is
do
what
they
hap-
eat with real utensils?
They don't.
They're
This is
very
what
poor
happens
at
when
it.
you miss a session and
no.
can't
The point
consult
is
us.
that they're
But-
making their
Joe,
hand
turn it
into
up.
that so that they
They're
don't have
changing.
utensils.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah,
That
If
makes
they
more
could have
sense.
normal
I thought
hand, they would just rather make a spoon out of their own hand and eat with it.
I mean that's a little weird, but it's a choice.
It is a child, so
Yeah, they're around 6 or 7 years old.
I don't think Aveline knows how to interact with children, so she's staying away.
That's at least you know yourself better than Rashemi.
I thought he was
I think-
a good
I
stern
think she
dad for a
wants
bit.
like so my gut instinct as like a player is to parent, but also like I can see that Cax and Indy have it taken care of. She
Why
shrugs.
did I
Question
Um,
mark.
And also like Aveline, was 8 and then went to like military school.
Yeah.
So
She's
what does she know? Yeah, she's never had a childhood. Like she don't know. So she's just gonna be like confused why it's here and be like, what's going on?
Child. Ren, meet Aveline. Aveline, meet Ren. Okay, you guys know each other.
They just stare. Ren's looks. There's a brief there's a brief interruption in their eating. They just stare at you with these huge like pitch black eyes. Like both the whites and the irises are just all black. And
Hi,
then
Red. Would you like to see a magic trick while you're eating?
their mouth is stuffed with food, and they go "Brr, brr, brr," and they spit some of it out, but then they nod their head.
I use thaumaturgy to open the windows.
Open all the windows.
My name's Chester. No, that's not it.
And so that does was a surprise reaction from Ren, as they're looking around at all of the windows being opened, and there's a brief sense of awe in their their look at the situation at you, Aveline, but then they remember that there's food to be had, and they go back to eating.
That's what I figured.
Can I use some to close all the windows?
Yes,
I
you
was
can
going to
use.
do that next, but go ahead.
You
Can I use
Actually-
thaumaturgy
actually,
to open all the windows again?
Oh lord.
Actually, I don't want to close them. I just want to keep them open.
Well, it is a like a brisk, like sort of a mid fall morning, or early day. So there's a cold breeze that comes through.
No, I'm not staying with the cold. That's so good. I'll leave it.
Okay.
All right,
So,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
so what was in the letter?
What letter?
Wonder who it's for.
They're turning to Cax here and ask.
That's not.
Okay, my
Yeah.
dad apparently.
Apparently, what?
You have a dad?
Apparently, my quote unquote real dad, some whack noble in Waterdeep, has died, and I'm supposed
Wait.
to collect his fortune.
Hold up.
Wait, you have two dads? Can I
My
have
two
one?
dads. My
Right?
two dads. That's the new show on NBC.
Your dad is a noble in
On
Waterdeep, and you're slumming
on
it here with
fantasy-
us. Why?
On Fantasy NBC. No,
You mean Witch? You
because
mean Witch, right?
Yeah, on which because I didn't know about him
Oh.
until now, which is why I'm quote unquote slumming it, which I don't necessarily agree with. I've lived in worse. I've frankly having the most fun I've had in a very long time, other than the fact that I died. But
So, Evelyn will go, how do you feel about it? Do you want me to contact the people in Waterdeep to find out for sure? And is there
yeah,
anything else I can do for you?
I mean, no. It's like sort of finding out that like your great aunt or something died and like you got $1 million, where it's like, okay, cool. But
Did you
also,
get it? Wait, first, what's $1?
I don't know. It's just a
A
saying.
million gold pieces.
Wait, did you get 1,000,000 gold pieces?
I don't know. We'll find out soon.
Could I
Triboar.
borrow 1,350?
No, we don't have any right now.
I'd be like, hey, Indy, do you want a distraction?
Yes.
Cool. We need to name the food cart.
Okay.
Wait. As soon as she says, "Do you want a distraction?" I make all the windows slam shut.
Wait, we're not going to what? I kind of need to go there anyways.
I mean, I should probably check into the temple.
We haven't done that yet?
Not recently.
No.
We've been in the Feywild and in 7 other different towns, and we just got home, but now there's a child, and blah, 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 blah.
Wait, have we gotten paid for all the rest of our stuff? Did we pick up the money for all that shit? Yes.
Yes, you guys have been paid for your jobs that you've done
Mhm.
so far.
After some purchases, we have 837 gold and 80 in jewels. And we can't
We
spend
went
that
shop-
80 here.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So we can
did
decide
this
the name of the food truck. We can figure out how we want to cook it and staff it. And the AI game is in 3 minutes.
up. That's so soon.
I just.
We'll adjourn there. Veril, of course, has never heard of a food truck, and neither has Ren, and they both ask you what that is. But
This is our new patented thing.
with
We gotta
that,
we should come up with a name before we go.
That's what I was saying. Like right now, let's hammer out a name.
Wait, are we gonna do purple on wait and see? Or
No.
I like meals on
Triples.
meals on wagon wheels, or just meals on wheels.
Meals on Wheels?
No, Meals on
No.
Wheels is
Hold on.
Meals on Wheels is an actual thing.
I know it is,
And it does
but
good work.
I know
we
it's
should call it the
so.
Clinks and Wheels. Something
No.
The Clinks
No, I hate Clinks and Drinks. It drives me bonkers.
I like it though.
Hey, that was what we voted
I mean, I
for.
kind of love it.
Clinks
we
and
wanna-
drinks
Clinks
and
Oh, wait.
Clinks to
drinks
go.
and clacks.
Wait.
Hold
Clinks
on.
to go.
Hannah,
Drinks to go.
Okay, someone give me a
Yes.
keyword
Not
for it.
drinks,
Someone give me a
clinks.
keyword. Cart, food, someone give me a keyword. Find a food truck business name generator. Someone give me a keyword.
Wait,
hold
that
on.
exists? Of course
Wait,
it does.
wait,
What is
wait,
your
wait.
what is your food?
Clinks and Drinks.
Clinks and drinks 2, Electric Boogaloo.
What
No.
you could make a play off what you're selling. What type of food do you want this food
Oh.
cart to sell?
Drink Lux, Clinks Rapid. Drinks, no, none of these are good.
What about like
Clinks
like
Limitless.
jails and cats?
Drink,
What
drink.
about like jails and
Clinks
criminals?
Unplugged.
Wait, why?
Clinks Honest.
We can name it after Lathander.
One of those ends with hold on, give me a second.
We'll workshop it through the week. How's that sound?
Yeah, hold on, yeah. We have 1 minute.
Yeah. Thanks for playing, everyone. Thanks for watching or watching later if you
Bye,
happen to
it's
catch it on
airtime.
YouTube. But bye,
Bye
guys.
bye. It is 18 time.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
see you
going
guys
to get
next
ice
week.
cream and I'm going to pee and